Great. Thank you so much for being here. We are truly excited to be here. My name is Linda Schatz-Bouchard. I am the Executive Director of Shed Children's Campus. We are looking at opening up on June 29th. During the pandemic, we have been working every week. So since we've left the campus on March 13th, the entire team here at the organization have been all working together with content out to our FaceTime, Facebook Live events, and also Zoom events. We as a team have been meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week as an entire group, and it has been it's been great. We've definitely had a lot of learnings during this time, but the one big takeaway for us has been that we are so better together, in everything we do. We have really have melded even more so as a family and really leaning on each other during these times and figuring out how do we support one another in this virtual way. And I have to give a big kudos to the entire team here on the Shed Children's Campus. So with that, I want to invite the directors. We thought today would be a great Q&A talking about, I'm sorry, I'm still admitting some more folks in. We're very excited about opening, and we'll start talking about what it's going to look like. Some of the research we have been looking into. We've been in contact with folks out in Colorado also. They're about 6 weeks ahead of us. They have been truly helpful as far as understanding their process and their learnings throughout this time. So with that, I am going to, Karen, do you want to share a little bit about the opening and about some of the guidelines?
I can do that, sure. So we've worked closely with EEC, who is our licensing agency, to fulfill the requirements to open. We're super excited because it's been a lot, but we're ready. First of all, I think one of the biggest questions is mask wearing. Will the children be wearing masks? So through the guidelines, masks are recommended, but not required for children to wear them. Staff will be wearing them when social distancing isn't possible. We ask that when parents arrive that they're wearing their masks as well. So that's one big question. Children are going to be with their group of 10 for the week. So minimizing contact with other people, that's what we're really mainly focused on. That's one of the biggest things that helps in this whole situation. So each children will be assigned to a group of 10 with a teacher, and they'll stay within that group, and they will social distance from other groups for the week. Cleaning and disinfecting protocol, we have a really good system protocol where there'll be staff specifically assigned to cleaning, especially high touch areas in the classroom. We're going to be rotating toys in and out, so if they need to be cleaned and disinfected, we can do that, just to keep everything sanitized. Hand washing is our biggest thing. Hand washing is the most effective way, so we're going to be making sure hand washing is done many times during the day. When we first arrive, we wash our hands. We're going to wash our hands before we start an activity. We'll wash our hands when we end an activity. When we come in from outside, we'll wash our hands. We actually have washing stations outdoors as well where we can wash our hands. So that's going to be very much enforced and done throughout the day, all of us, to keep us healthy and strong. We're asking that children bring their own snacks for morning and afternoon and their lunch as well, and they will be designated eating times, so it's easy to clean up before a snack and after a snack, and then also the same for lunch, so we don't have food all over the place. So we also ask that this summer, that all snacks and lunches be peanut nut free as well, so it can minimize the challenges with children's allergies. I'm trying to think where someone's going to explain drop off and pick up, which will definitely look different. Linda, is there anything
Yeah.
else you want me to touch upon?
Sure. So I think, Julie, you may be the best because we as a team have been taking certain pieces of the re-entry with the COVID-19 and how we are going to be running some of the systems. Julie, could you share a little bit about the drop-off and the pickups and what that's going to look like? I know for some folks, the big question was, oh, it's showing 8 to 4 is the sign up for the summer program. And 8 o'clock, we start entry and accepting children in. Julie Poley will share a little bit, what is that going to look like so that you have an idea also what that is going to look like for you and your family. The other piece, if you have any questions, we are now, can you hear me okay? You can, okay, thank you. No, it's showing that it's unstable, the internet, so I just want to make sure. So the other piece is, if you go onto our website, we are continuing updating it daily, if not hourly. So anytime, just go on, and there's a lot of answers there. So that might be able to guide you. And also go ahead and email us. We're always available. So Julie, if you may go into what will a drop off and pickup look like now with the new summer schedule?
Great. So first of all, I want to say welcome everybody. I am the Sustainability and Nutrition Coordinator here at SHED, and I have been diligently working outside to make sure the grounds and gardens are ready for us to play outside a whole lot. So we have lots of new spaces. I can't wait for you guys to explore. So pickup and drop off are very much different, as the only people allowed in either of our buildings will be our staff and our children. So families will no longer be invited in, which is sad to us because we love to have you in. But just to keep contact low, we are asking that it's drop off via drive-through kind of like system. And what it will look like is, if you are in the Monarch Preschool, you will drop off from Abbott Campus Road up at the top part of the preschool building. If you are in any of the other programs, Junior Adventures, Outdoor Adventures, Summer Adventures, or Team Adventure, you will drop off around the circle in front of the Kids Club building. Now, the requirements from the state require us to ask daily to have you fill out a health checklist form. I have emailed every family the link to the form, so please bookmark it so that every morning before you drop your child off, it is filled out. Because if not, we're going to ask you to pull over to the side of the road and fill it out before we can let your kids in the building. Because of all the different symptoms and things like that, we just need to make sure everybody's healthy and safe. So that's what drop-off will look like. You'll pull up in the front. A director will stand at your car and ask if you've filled out the form. They will ask your child's name or last name, and then they will tell you what classroom your child will be in for the day, for the week, so that at pickup time, when you drive up, you'll look for the banner of your child's classroom, and that's the group that you'll stop at to pick up your child. The teacher will make sure your child gets in the car. Also, we're asking, please, that at pickup time, you clearly have your child's last name on a big piece of paper in your passenger window, so that when you drive up, the teacher can see that Linda Schatz-Bouchard is here to pick up her child, so that they can get your child in the car as quickly as possible. The drop-off and pickup times, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., we are welcoming drop-off. Just be patient as we have about 140 families that are coming through our driveway, and it may take us a few tries to get the system to flow like a well-oiled machine. And pickup time will start promptly at 3:30, and we will end promptly as promptly as we can at 4 o'clock, just to make the end of the day and our staff get to go home then. So I think I covered it all. If there's any questions, I can put it in the chat box, I guess, and we can try to answer them. But I think that's everything.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks.
Dina and Shana, did you want to add anything? Was everything covered?
I think most of the, we're echoing in the office. Most of the basic stuff was covered. I think is sort of getting in and getting out. Hold on. Can you
Exactly.
shut your volume?
Your volume's on.
Sorry, technical difficulties. So I think one of the things that we just wanted to let families know and let the kids know is that we really want this summer to be about them having fun. So despite the guidelines and despite the fact that we can't head to the pool or do field trips, like our goal is for the kids to come here and be kids, so that they're going to be outside, they're going to be playing, they're going to be with friends. It's a time to enjoy themselves and just really be a kid. So that's what the staff have been working on. They're excited to have their own little group and make those great connections and really get to know what the children love and do that with them all week. So we're just really excited to do that. We can't wait to hear little kid noises in the building again. So it's just really, that is our goal. I mean, obviously safety is a big concern and we want to make sure everybody's safe and cared for, but beyond that, the sort of mental, emotional health, we want kids to have fun and enjoy their summer and have it be a summer. So that is our biggest thing, I think, and the teachers are doing an awesome job. They created a lot of new spaces.
Hi, I'm Shana Hall. For those who don't know me, I am one of the directors. My focus is mostly Monarch and outdoor adventures this summer. And I think Dina, Julie, and Karen were pretty much covering it. Our grounds, our classrooms, they look beautiful and they're ready for everybody to come join us. A few things specific to our Monarch families, because I know there's been some questions about drop-off, and we are new faces to a lot of the children, and we are a new building to a lot of the children. So drop-off will be, the parents will help the child out of the car, and it'll just kind of be a case-by-case basis. If some of our friends are having a hard time separating, we'll figure out. But our teachers are so well aware of development and know this will be a tricky time for them, and they're amazing about, redirecting, getting the children engaged, and that they'll have a great day. I mean, I know the mornings you might leave here feeling a little sad if they're having a hard time, but they always have a great day. It's really just going to be like any other day with us. And we're excited to welcome them and to meet all of our new little friends. That's for sure.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm just reading some of the comments. Okay, so how many teachers would be assigned to each classroom? So right now, the guidelines state that in each classroom, you may have 10 children and 1 teacher. And so how that is determined is usually their age or grade point. And the other piece is that they're treated as a pod. And that's why they have the regulations where it would be 10 children to 1 teacher, and that's the pod for that week. Can everyone else see if they? Okay, so should I have my child wear a bathing suit for Monarch Preschool like in the past? Will there be sufficient water play to be forego bathing suits, water shoes? Shana, do you want to speak a little bit towards that? About that?
Yep, still have Owen come in his bathing suit. We still are going to do water play. It won't be standing water like our wading pools in the past. It'll be sprinklers and things like that, or children will have their own individual, kind of water station to play in. But yeah, sunscreen already applied, bathing suits, water shoes, a hat, the same stuff as last summer.
Okay, great. Well, we live close to Shed. Was wondering if kids could walk there, or are we required to escort them?
Hi. So I think we normally when kids are old enough, I feel like I emailed yesterday. There is a rule where we would just need a letter or an email saying that you give permission, especially since you're so close. We're just waiting to hear back from our licensor right now about whether or not we do have to have parents, contact, for lack of a better term, here, just because of the restrictions and the different guidelines that we have to follow as far as the daily check-in. So once we know about that, I will get back to you specifically on that one. But for now, we still need actual parent drop-off and pickup.
Okay, great. So then are there openings in the Monarch preschool program? Are 3-year-olds able to attend?
Yeah,
Shana?
I will get in touch with you. We're going through the wait list now, so I will get in touch with, I do have, is that the, yes, I will get in touch with you of openings we have.
Great. Can you please tell us about the wait list for the summer program? We are waiting for the guidelines to be posted to sign up, ended up in the wait list. Are there any chance for spots? Will spots open up?
So I think we definitely will have spots. It's been, so thank you for all for being patient with us. I think what's happened is we've had a lot of changes. A lot of people are have signed up early. Some people were dropping time. Some people's work schedules changed. Some people no longer have work. So we've had a lot of changes. So it's been a little tricky to sort of keep up with that wait list, especially with our limited space because of the guidelines. So we will let people know as soon as we can. There have been some sort of movement, but we just can't completely answer that yet because we need to make sure we safely have a list to start each week. And we just, there sort of hasn't been a stop point as far as people making changes, so they're still coming through. So we're trying, but I guess on the good news, people are changing, so those spots might open up, but it's just unfortunately not a hard answer just yet.
Great, thanks, Jana. Today's guidance from the commissioner required second graders and older to wear masks. Will this apply to Shed? Karen, have you seen anything coming through on that?
So I know that came through on the commissioner from the Department of Ed. So our licensor, EEC, her words were, as I said before, that masks are recommended but not required by children to wear them. And we're practicing social distancing, and the children are going to be within the same group. So they're not going to be required to wear a mask. However, we do leave it up to the parents' discretion. If you would like your child to wear a mask, then we will support that.
Great, thank you. We live nearby and would typically walk to drop off our child. Should we drive instead, or is walking drop off with masks still okay?
I would say if you're wearing a mask, as long as you fill out that health check form and you're willing to just be patient with us, if you're going to walk, I think it should be fine as long as you guys are wearing masks. I don't know if any other directors think differently, but
Yes.
I think it's fine because, yeah, I think it's fine to walk. Just follow the protocol.
Okay, here's one. How should families with one child in Monarch and one child in Junior Adventure handle drop-off? Go first to Abbott Street entrance? How should that happen? The two different buildings.
so the Junior Adventures is going to come around the loop, and if you have a Junior Adventure and a Monarch, I suggest you just follow the loop here, and then we'll have you swing around and drop off at the other building, and someone will walk your child to their group
I like
at
that.
the Monarch building. So just use the regular loop, and then we will make sure your child gets to their group at the Monarch building.
Great, thank you, Julie. Will my child stay with the same group of kids if I sign up for multiple sessions? Dina, do you want to answer that?
Yes, sorry. I think for the most part, we're trying to keep the children as consistent as possible, but because we didn't require families to sign up for the entire summer or blocks of time, there will be a shifting depending on how the numbers flow. So for the most part, they will be in the same room, but they could be, the building is sectioned off, especially for the juniors on up, is sectioned into wings. So you would probably maybe not change a wing, but you might be in a different room depending on the numbers for that week. So mostly the same.
Can a preschooler bring a Lovey stuffed animal to the Monarch program?
Absolutely. Just make sure it is labeled. You know, obviously disinfect it after they come home. But if it's something they need to get through the day, then absolutely.
Terrific. How is sunscreen going to be handled? Can we send it in with them? Karen, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so wearing your first coat of sunscreen when you arrive is definitely, please do that. That's definitely recommended and would make it helpful. If teachers assist with sunscreen, that would be where they'd be wearing their PPE, which is a mask. They would be wearing gloves, which would be changed every time they help a child with sunscreen. They also, when we have to assist a child with that kind of need, we wear, we cover ourselves over with a long sleeve shirt as well for extra PPE protection. And we're also going to have some spray sunscreen on hand, which will probably be easier for application when we're helping the children.
Right. Are children required to bring a mask?
We ask that children have a mask in their bag, and have it in a Ziploc bag is probably a good thing. We do have extra masks on hand, but if they can bring one in their backpack, that would be very helpful.
Where is the health form found? Is that on our website?
An email will be going out this
Oh.
afternoon with a link. So if you get, when you get the email, please bookmark the email so that you have access to it every single day. It's a Google form, so you just fill it out online and it will submit automatically.
Great. Hey, Julie, just also make note to make sure it gets posted onto the webpage.
Okay.
Just send it to Afton.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to try to really load up our webpage to have all documents so it's easy for you to find and they're all there. We'll be emailing you and also checking the check our website. While I totally understand it, my kids are very disappointed about the lack of field trips and cooking. What's going to replace these special things? Who would like to answer that one?
So we're totally disappointed that we don't have the pool and the field trips too. So the teachers have been diligently trying to come up with fun things that we can do around the campus. So while you all were away, we have developed a whole bunch of different outside areas for us to explore and use throughout the summer. We will be doing water play at different times of day. There will be walks that are still around the area. Also, we do Harry Potter for the summer. So we have a new spin on how we're going to do Harry Potter via Zoom calls so that we can all stay connected. So all the teachers will have a Zoom account and all the classrooms will have challenges and fun events that we get together for via Zoom. Any other fun stuff, Dina?
You're all good? Okay, great. Oh, did you want to go? Are you? Yeah.
Like I wasn't muted. No, I think Julie, you covered it perfectly. Thank you.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, you. Okay. For the first time Shed families, can you review what besides the lunch and snacks should we bring for a day? What should they bring?
Who wants to? I can go. So we do have a list on the website, and I think there's another email coming out, but so you should bring your snacks and your lunch, bathing suit and towel in your bag, extra sunscreen if you don't want. We have our own supply of sunscreen to use, and as long as you don't have restrictions with that, you don't have to bring sunscreen, but if you want a specific sunscreen used, please bring that bottle. They should bring 2 water bottles full for the day. And I think that's it. The less belongings they bring, the better off. We strongly encourage to label everything. So if it gets lost, we know who it belongs to. I don't know, am I missing anything to bring every day?
I would think the only other thing is to make sure, I know like flip-flops are a great thing to have, but I think also, especially if the children will be playing in the woods or playing hard, they should always have a pair of sneakers as well, something that they can run around in. Flip-flops are definitely hard to run in, but and a bag for their wet clothes. Thanks.
I saw someone asking about masks being reused. So what I recommend is that when your child has a mask, it's in a Ziploc bag already cleaned. If they're using a cloth mask and they bring it home and they did use it, you can wash it. The paper ones, as long as they're in a bag and they haven't been used, you can definitely bring it back the next day.
Great. Are kids going to be restricted to the same group of children outside as well?
The children will be staying with their same group the whole day. And the great news about the outdoors is we have a lot of different outdoor spaces that each group can go. So they're practicing social distancing. And if you haven't, a lot of you haven't been to our campus for a while, we've actually created even more spaces. So there's so much room for each group to spread out, and they're going to be rotating through the spaces too. So they're enjoying different parts of our campus when outside, but they will be with their same group.
Great. Will snack for Monarch Preschool always be indoors?
Sorry, having trouble unmuting myself. It really be up to the teachers most likely. I think their thoughts are to head outside before snack. They really want to get as much outside time as possible. We always just want to keep safety in mind, especially with our little ones. When we go outside, they always don't sit and eat, as you know, I'm sure all you moms and dads could attest to that. So safety is always key, but yeah, they'll be doing, you know, even their morning provocations should be set outside sometimes. You know, they're really not locked into anything. They kind of follow where the children lead and do what they're interested in. So yes, as much outside time as possible. Absolutely.
Great. Regulations, does that mean no before and after summer program? I'll answer that. I believe it's talking about extended day. Because of the new regulations, we are opening up the 8 to 4 is, those are going to be our core hours. And unless the regulations and I guess the phases start progressing, but we are, because of staffing, it's just, that's what we had to open with, was the 8 to 4. Okay, how does helping Monarch age children with bathroom needs happen?
So we will, following, you know, all the regulations from EEC, masks, gloves, change of a shirt, what do you call it? I don't know.
Long sleeve shirt.
Like a lot, but yeah, our teachers will have a long sleeve shirt to change it and out of when they help. And you know, they'll bring those home and sanitize them. So it'll be, safety is key. And they'll be keeping all of those things in mind when they help with toileting and things like that.
How is Team Adventure going to be different than the Lair? So regular summer adventures. How is Team Adventure going to be different?
I wish we had like Johnny and Emma and Joel here for this one, but I think it is, I mean, in the past Team Adventures, the biggest difference with Team Adventures, these are youth and they're a little bit older and they're a little bit more ready to sort of, you know, expand their horizons. So while it won't look different like it did last year where they had 3 field trips a week, they will be here with us the whole time. I think they're really working hard to just make sure that they're really finding some focused activities or hobbies, where it might be for that group, so that they're really keying into who these kids are and what their interests are, and just really expanding that a little bit. So a little bit will be when, as they get to know the kids and find out what they're interested in and really expand from there. But they have a little bit of a different flair, and I don't know how to put it into exact words, but they know how to just work with that group, give them that little extra independence, that's a better word, so that they really can just feel like they're in their own little group. So while it might not totally from the beginning look different, and they won't be heading onto that bus 3 times a week, they definitely have their own shift. So I hope that answers it enough.
Thank you. Hold on. Oh, mine just jumped. I know that there was a question about ice packs. Lunch is refrigerated, or should we include an ice pack? Ice pack. We will not be refrigerating children's lunches.
We also won't be microwaving lunches as well. So if you can bring in a lunch that does not need to be heated.
Or thermos.
Or thermos.
Yeah. Is there a resource that sets out the general daily schedule for each program? I'm not sure. Is there a resource that sets out the daily, so basically, I would assume that would be welcoming into the classroom, what time snack, is that what we're looking for here? What time snack would be, a lunch?
I think we don't have a real hour-to-hour or minute-to-minute schedule. I think we have our drop-off and pickup times. Within that, well, there's a morning snack and an afternoon snack sort of before and after the drop-off and pickup. We will also Harry Potter times during the day where we get the groups together with Zoom and some different activities. Those are generally around 10 and 2. I get, sort of give or take. But for the most part, the flow of the day will flow with the interests of those children in that group. And because we have so many spaces, so one group might be just totally intent on fort making. They could be out there the whole time, ideally, if they wanted to. So it really, there isn't a set time frame for different things. The teachers really follow the children's lead.
Okay, great. This is a question for Monarch. My child doesn't nap. Does she need to bring a mat?
So I don't want to get hung up on the word nap. We're not expecting every child or any child really to fall asleep. It really is just a rest time. After lunch, we have air conditioned. They come in, cool down, rest their bodies, and get ready for the rest of the day. It can be a quiet activity. It can be a story. I do suggest bringing in something that is kind of will be their place in the classroom, just for in terms of social distancing. It doesn't have to be an actual nap mat. It can just be a pillow and blanket from home, just something that they'll know that that's their spot to just rest their body, do a quiet activity. No one's expected to nap. It may be, be from 1 to 2. It might be shorter than that if really nobody's interested in resting. But we find as the morning goes on, they do need to rest their bodies a little bit before all the afternoon activities. And this is a longer day for them. A lot of our Monarch friends only do a half a day. So, and if we're finding it's not working, we'll readjust. But definitely something that they have their own spot in the room to take a break.
Great. So any resources where we can purchase quality but lower costing child cloth mask? Does anyone have, or any of our families that may have a resource?
Well, we do have some masks that were made by family members of mine that fit the requirements. So, and they're available. So if anybody is in need of them, they can reach out to me and I can help you out with that.
Great, thank you. Karen, this one will be for you as the first day. What is the policy for kids who present with symptoms during the day?
Okay, so the procedure per our guidelines, if a child does present with symptoms, that child will be brought to a room which is designated as the Monarch office to isolate. The parents will be notified to pick up the child. A director wearing full PPE will stay with that child and keep that child comfortable. That child then will be brought home and asked to be contact your pediatrician to make sure. If a child does have COVID-19, they can't return for 14 days. The other thing too, if they are ill with something, they have to be if it's not the virus, they have to be symptom-free for 3 days to return. The classroom that child was in will be closed off so it can be deeply cleaned and disinfected before that room is used again. And that's per our guidelines.
Great, thank you. My daughter has celiac disease and I'm concerned if they're eating and playing in the same area, what will be the protocol for cleaning up after snack and lunch beyond hand washing?
I can answer that.
Okay.
So each classroom has a very detailed allergy health concern list. So your child would be, that would be known to the teachers within that classroom. If, first of all, they'll sit in a spot where there won't be any cross-contamination. There'll be hand washing, and then the surfaces are washed before they begin to eat. And then after lunchtime, all the surface areas will be washed again, including table, including chairs. We also encourage all children after they eat to wash their face and their hands as well, so there's not any kind of cross-contamination. Our teachers are trained in making sure that this doesn't happen, and the procedure works really well.
Thank you. The next question is, what is the cancellation or refund policy? Right now, we're asking people to firm up with their summer schedules right now. So I'm not clear if right now we're asking folks, because we do have a wait list and all. So if the question is, if a child becomes sick, that, you know, we are offering the refunds, but we are asking people, please firm up your schedules. If you know, was that by yesterday, I think, or by today? So just let the directors know, because they are working, and I have to share with you, kudos to all the directors, and especially Dina. She's been really doing all the scheduling of our children, and to really fit the regulations and all the criteria is truly a beautiful dance that she's been doing. And the sooner we know and we can pull folks off the wait list, because we do have quite the wait list of people waiting to come in, please let us know, and we can take it from there. So hopefully that answered. There's also folks, there are some suggestions for face mask on the chat, on the chat room. So there's a bunch of different ones that are there. Does anyone have any other questions? All right, so we just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this live Zoom for our families. I hope you received the information that you needed. I do think one of the biggest takeaways for us, that when we were chatting with the folks from Colorado, was really how to be as relaxed as possible during these times, to do all the work and preparation that needs to be had to be able to open our doors, which we have. We've been spending these past 3 months preparing for you all to return to us. So again, thank you for putting your trust and into us. We will take very good care of your children. That is our #1 priority for us, safety, and you know, we take our jobs very serious, but we also want to be with your children, be relaxed, and do what we do best, and that is being with your children. So again, I just want to say thank you. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us, and we're here. And be patient as we go along these first couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye.